Welcome back. It's still the breakfast on Plus TV Africa. Away from the issues in the Niger Delta oil spillage and, of course, gas leakage. This morning, we will also be discussing football, sports. And Osimhen is in the news, and he has just been discharged after surgery. And we have Chidiebere Ezeani, who will be discussing all of those juicy stories and, of course, issues surrounding, the Premier League, Champions League, and all of that on the show this morning. I am actually very smiling because this is not something I get to do on the regular basis. So I'm indeed going to enjoy this particular discussion. Many thanks for joining us, Chidiebere. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, Osimhen is in the news, and he has just had surgery. He will be missing out on the African Cup of Nations due to an injury and surgery.
Osimhen has been an integral part of the national team for almost since 2017, and he will be a big miss. He's contributed since that time. He's contributed 18 goals and 10 assists in his national team career, which is a lot for a player not even 25 yet. So he will be a very big miss, very integral part of the team, the way we play, at least the way we played under Roa. So I believe the team would find a way through, but he will definitely be a miss.
Okay, so now that he will be a miss, we don't know the possibility of him recovering before January, but who do you think would actually...
All right, Chidiebere, let me just ask that question. Now, he is going to be out for some time because he's has had an injury, and of course, he has had surgery. But what are the chances of Nigeria, come, January next year? And besides, what possible replacement do we have as alternative for, him for the Super Eagles?
The truth is, at the moment, we do have some players who have been playing well in Europe, and for the first time in a long time, most of them are strikers. Actually, you have Awoni in Germany, you have Dennis, you have Dennis at Watford, who is also playing well. There's a possibility Gannett opened the door for someone like Odion Igalo to come back. So there are options, and I do hope the national team can make their choices right, because we're actually blessed with a lot of options in the striking position.
So, but let's even ask you now, and I mean, these are your thoughts. Who do you think would, take the lead? Who would lead the line if he doesn't recover before January or by January?
There is a certain Kelechi Iheanacho who've seen him. All he usually needs is just a little bit of confidence and trust from the manager. There are other players, Simeon, there are, other players who could take that position. But if, like you asked, I would take Kelechi Iheanacho, to take that position.
Okay, let's move away from the Super Eagles now. He is also a Napoli player. Right now we can't. What do we exactly know concerning his injury? He has been discharged. Do we know for how long he would be out? What are you finding so far?
The Napoli surgeon, Gianni Paolo Tattaro, said the surgery was perfectly done. I was perfectly successful, but Osimhen is scheduled to be out for at least 3 months. Now, this is for recovery. Yes, this has been stated as his recovery time, which means it doesn't mean he will be back playing in 3 months, because the surgery or the injury was not just a cheekbone injury, but also had issues with his eye socket. So it wasn't a simple cheekbone injury. This affected a whole lot of muscles and bones on his face, which had to be fixed. So for recovery time, he's been set at 3 months. But he's a very young lad, so unfortunately, this doesn't have anything to do with his playing muscles, so he can't actually say he can, speed his own process by working on it. There's really nothing he can do but relax and allow healing take place. there had to be a lot of titanium and screws, used to fix the space. So it will be, he has to take the time, and I hope he recovers as quickly as possible.
All right, so let's still talk about the fact that Super Eagles playing Egypt, Sudan in group stages kind of looks like it's, very simple. But don't you think that there's a lot of work looking at how, the team has actually performed recently? I mean, the team has performed recently, performance, and the fact that, Osimhen is not really going to be around.
Well, Osimhen, an integral part, yes, but he's not the only one in the team. The team hasn't been entertaining, not that they've not been able to grind out a result. There's been some disappointing results here and there. But there's a lot of work to be done in that team, and they will have to be at their best, because football these days has no minnows anymore. Because you think any team is not at your level, you're wasting your time, because they have gone through the same qualification process as you have, and they're in the group with you. So I think the coaches in the Nigerian national team have to up their game. They have to effectively represent what Nigerians will trust, because that's what I believe is really lacking right now. The disappointment in the team, the lack of we have so much flair players, players who are actually doing well in their clubs, but are not replicating this attitude or these performances in the national team, and you only wonder why. Is this something with the national team training? Is it that they just aren't national team players? But those are things that they have to rectify if Nigeria would have to come out strong in that group. And Egypt, they do have one of the best players in the world currently in Mo Salah, so it's going to be a very, very serious one for the Super Eagles.
Yeah, no, but some sports enthusiasts have actually blamed the performance of players. I mean, when you juxtapose that with what happens at their club level and when they come to play for the national team, to the fact that we do not have a coach who is very tactical. I'd like to share your thoughts on that.
Ghana has his record with Nigeria not bad, because he's actually taking us to qualified for competitions ahead of time. I think this Nations Cup qualification is the one he has struggled. But there are times when you look at the Super Eagles game and we're extremely predictable. You can almost for certain say who his substitutions are going to be. We call and pick players who are not necessarily at their peak. So yes, some of the blame definitely will go to him, just like when if the team is winning, gets all the praise. For me, you can't question or absolutely question the technical capacity of the coach who has been able to qualify to the World Cup, go to the World Cup, qualify to the Nations Cup. But as Nigerians loving football, we definitely do want more. And in wanting more, there's a lot of pressure. Do I think he's capable of taking Nigeria to the next level? I don't think so, because I think we've seen the best he has to offer, really. Because there's really not been any, tactical or, any form of serious changes to his pattern of play since he took over. He's done well. We can't excuse that, but I really think it's time for him to step aside for someone else to take the position.
All right, let's look at the UEFA Champions League now. So far, how exciting has it been for you?
Well, it's been a fantastic few weeks of football in the UEFA Champions League. I think the game of the week will be the PSG Manchester City game, where you have very tactical teams, coaches who are doing well. Most likely the best of players in Europe playing for these two teams. There were some fantastic play. Manchester City came out on top. 2-1, that one ended. It was a very exciting game. Manchester United found their feet, winning 2-0 away to Villarreal, giving Michael Carrick and Darren Fletcher their first wins of their managerial or their first team managerial careers. I think for them, for Manchester United, it's a very good recovery, and they will be hoping to replicate that in the league, which led to the sacking of Osimhen Surgery. So the games have been interesting, and we hope to see a whole lot more. Chelsea, of course, have been, at the game. Real Madrid saw off a Sheriff side that shocked the world when they beat the Madrid side at the Bernabeu. So it's been a fantastic week of football, really.
All right, Chidiebere, let's analyze some performances. Specifically, wouldn't you say that the English teams have been particularly very, very enthralling in their performance this season?
Definitely. When you also look at the fact that I think personally that some of the best coaches in the world are currently in the English Premier League. The competition has been fierce in the league itself, and it's replicating itself in the Champions League with Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, and then Manchester United. They're playing very well. Man United, in as much as they've not been good in the league, they have been getting the results in the Champions League, though most will say thanks to one man, but it takes a team to actually play. It's been a very good tournament for the English teams so far, but it's nothing that we've not seen before. It's usually when it gets to the business end of the competition that things begin to get tough. But Chelsea, they're defending champions, and they're playing extremely well. We'll see how they adjust with the injury to Ben Chilwell, but I believe that team is well-rounded to solve the problem.
I like the fact that you mentioned PSG as some interesting for you, losing to City 2-1. And my question is, you think that they have all it takes? The fact that, Neymar couldn't get the job done, there's a Neymar there, there's a Messi, and you also have an Mbappe. All of that, you think they have what it takes?
Well, every team in a knockout competition has an opportunity, and then when you have a team that has the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, and all the flurry of midfielders that they have at Paris Saint-Germain, it only shows you that when it becomes a situation where an individual player will help them out, that can happen. And the truth be told, there are very few teams in the world that can keep up with the passing pace of Manchester City. That team is well drilled. Players move in such a way that it's a little bit difficult to keep hold of them. The pressing play might be very difficult because they can also kick the long balls, including a goalkeeper who kicks good play. PSG, they have signed some Champions League experienced players in the likes of Messi and Sergio Ramos, which means that when they get to those positions where they usually get, like in the semi-finals where they fall short, or in the finals, they might have actually solved that problem. But like I said, it's a knockout competition and anything can happen.
All right, Chidiebere, Chelsea have actually been very formidable this season, what with their performance against Juventus 4-0. But much the same can be said for Manchester United, who have had some very dissatisfying season. What's the future for that particular club? That's Manchester United specifically.
Well, it's a new era, or at least an interim new era for Manchester United with the signing of the new coach who is going to take on the position on an interim level. Manchester United have seen an upheaval, the level and the disgrace in some of the recent losses. Someone will say, yes, with one of the best players in the world, Mo Salah, in a very good Liverpool team, you can't lose certain way. You can't lose certain way against Manchester City, but you are not allowed to lose that way against the Watford team. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't helped development of the team, because I believe United have a very good squad that should be able to perform well. Let's see how they're able to adapt with the new interim manager. It's not very easy, especially when he's on an interim level. How well will the players perform? How well will they react? Does he get his own coaching staff? Does he, implement his own philosophy in the club, knowing that it's only a matter of months and then he has to step aside again for someone to re-imprint on the players? So Manchester United, they have the players, they have a relatively good experience in the squad, and with a leader like Cristiano Ronaldo, who actually leads by example, I believe they were part of those who were considered as title contenders before the season started. They have dropped off a whole lot, but they have the capacity to recover.
So let's still stay with Ronaldo now in the Group F, and with all of the goals that he's scored, how big would you describe his impact, for the United?
Very, 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 very essential, really, because if you remove the goals scored by Ronaldo, then maybe Manchester United will not have qualified from that group. He's been integral, but then a man who scored over 150 goals in the competition, you should know he knows his whereabouts when competition, when it concerns that particular competition. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think one of the best players in the world of all time anyways. He's been integral. He leads from the front, and it's been good for the team. I just do hope that he stays injury-free, because that would affect the team. But for a player in his physical condition, at his age, he's doing really, really and effectively well.
All right, interesting. Let's sort of do some sort of a prediction for the UCL this particular season. Who do you see at the top 8?
Wow. There's been a lot of teams. I'm tempted to automatically go with at least 3 of the 4 English teams, which are Manchester City, Man United, and Chelsea. But you also have to consider the fact that tournaments like this also have the likes like Bayern Munich. You have other teams who are
Liverpool
at the top of their games, and I think there are places. But if Manchester City are able to get a striker by January, they will be a very, very difficult team to beat. Chelsea are also playing extremely well, considering the fact that Lukaku has not been available. If I were to pick a top 4, I would go with Bayern. Real have also been in a very good form. I'll pick Manchester City, and just because they have a certain Messi and Sergio Ramos, I'll pick PSG.
So I was also thinking you would include a Liverpool in that.
Mercy, why are you about Liverpool? You support Liverpool.
No, I'm just wondering.
You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
She can on, and there was no Liverpool in
Liverpool, they are doing good. They're very exciting. Good side, you can't write them off. I am not writing them off, but those are my first 4 choices. And when you make your own choice, you can add Liverpool. It's
all right. That wasn't a light note.
But then Manchester United is among her choice, and that's something very impressive, because I actually have followed Manchester City, that is City United, those derby clubs. But then they have been very, very impressive all season, But then how would you really weigh the strength of Bayern this season?
The thing about Bayern Munich is they have a systematic way of playing. The goals are coming from every angle of the pitch, and this man, Robert Lewandowski, just can't stop scoring, which is a very, very integral part of the way they play, and he continues to play well in the competition. Bayern, they're a very strong side, fluid in their attack, and they score lots of goals. They're not one of those teams that will score 2 or 3 and then sit back. But they're also a team that can, shock you in such a way that they would lose scandalously to certain teams. So Bayern, a very strong side, a European powerhouse. So you would definitely expect something from them.
All right, thank you, Chidiebere. Indeed, we will be looking out for the top players this season, the UCL. Chidiebere is a media and marketing officer of the Nigerian University Games Association. Many thanks for those analyses and all of your insights. We do appreciate all of them.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, Mercy, Liverpool, start talking. What are you not telling me?
Well, I'm just thinking because you know, if you want to begin to mention teams, if you look at it both in the what's it called, the Champions League,
Yes.
and of course, you know, the Premier League, you find out that the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea are really doing very great, and you know, she missed all that. However, it is actually her choices. Like she mentioned, she said this is her top list, and maybe if I come up with my list, I would include those two clubs.
I'm sure you would. Well, may the best team win. That's what I can say, concerning all of that. It has been indeed a very interesting discussions on the show today. And we wish Osimhen a quick recovery so he can actually get back to the field of play. It's been a wonderful week from Monday to Friday. We must say a very big thank you to all of you who have sat back to watch us. We do appreciate it. We'll return again on Monday at 7 a.m.
And if you missed out on any part of the conversation, it's all right. You follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Plus TV Africa, and on YouTube is at Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. I am Mercy Boko. Do have a great Friday.
And I'm Justin Academy. Many thanks for being a part of the show. Stand by for the news top of the hour. Bye for now.